Welcome to the Positively Transformational Podcast with Asara and Eden Lovejoy, where we embark on a journey of empowerment, growth, and unshakable positivity. We're beyond thrilled to have you join our transformative community. Visit us at successbyyourcommand.com for more transformational programs. Enjoy the show.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Positively Transformational with me, Asara Lovejoy, and Eden Lovejoy.
Hi, Asara.
How are you doing today?
I am doing great today.
Yeah, we're going to have a great topic today. We're going to talk about when you need to redirect you need to stop and notice where you are, and you need to choose and pick what is working and what you like and what you need to let go. And I'm just going to tune in for a minute. There's seasons of the year that you go through different aspects of expression, like the harvest after you've done all the work to plant the seeds. And then after the harvest, there's the reflection. And so now we're talking about the time of reflection, where you say, do you know what I did that really worked well and that is working well and I want to continue to do? And what are the old patterns that I want to break that no longer are working or no longer serve my original intention to make way for new beginnings? And I know you and I had talked about what that means in terms of letting go of the not working part of what you're doing and the new beginnings. Over to you, Eden.
I think we were visiting about how pertinent this is to me right now. I mean, when I think about this idea of looking at what's working, having an open mind and being willing to let go of what's no longer working to create space for what's new. I was sharing with you, I'm a person I will hold on to things forever. If it worked once, I'll just do it forever and I won't ever reconsider that because I know that it worked, and so I hold on to it. I don't like endings very much, but I really love new beginnings. And recognizing that things closing out is a part of the process of things launching. I have to be willing to let go of things that are no longer working in order to create space for the new things that I want to play with. And recently, I kind of looked around and realized there's a lot going on here that's not really consistent with who I am today. I really appreciated you saying to me, beating myself up because I'm doing stuff that's not consistent with who I am today. And the answer is absolutely not. I appreciated you sharing that because there are seasons too in our lives of our growth and our development. So something that was working for me that I really enjoyed and loved for a period of time might no longer be a fit because I'm a different person today than I was 6 months or a year or 5 years ago, depending on how it's been hanging.
Yeah, I mean, we just had a client that we're starting a coaching program with, and he was saying, Sarah, I've been following the one command, I've been following your work for years, but it seems like you've really evolved and changed and made some new strides in the way that you're communicating and talking about these ideas. And I said, well, I hope so. I mean, if we don't evolve with what we're talking about, if we don't do that interchange to evolve into the next expression of our growth, then there's that dissonance, which is a misalignment. So when we're in alignment, things are going smoothly. We're working in the right principles. We've got the right concentration. And when we begin to get antsy and a little frustrated and uncertain, and it's time to re-examine, it's that time to reevaluate what is you want to keep and what you want to change and break old patterns that will then allow that new beginning to take form. It just breaking the soil and letting the new flowers emerge, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, and it's interesting. I think I've shared on here before, when I'm taking action that's not in alignment with who I am today, it reflects in my body, it reflects in my energy level, it reflects in my emotional body. They're like my subconscious is aware of it before I am. And so one of the things that's helpful for me is in looking for what are those things that are no longer serving me. Is there an indicator in my life that I am engaged in things that are no longer serving me? And those indicators are, how well am I sleeping? What is my stress level? Am I in a place of feeling like I I've got to go to work, or a place where I'm like, I get to go to work? Like, where's my energy level around what I'm involved in? And so those are good indicators for me that there's something happening that's in misalignment. Sometimes it's hard to see, right? It's hard to see what's not working because we just assume that some patterns that we've been in for such a long time must stay, right? I'm thinking of a story of a client who, when I met her, her entire business had been built around one particular service to the community. And as we started talking, she shared about how attendance in that or participation in that service had declined. And kind of looking at the floor plan of her business, she had 70%, she was in a food delivery service, and 70% of her space was tied up in this retail customer engagement space that wasn't being utilized. And she didn't have room to service the customers who were coming in for delivery, right? But the idea that it would be a good business decision to let go of that client that she first built the business around, like, so off the radar, because it just, sometimes we're too close. So I guess I can recognize when something's not working, but I sometimes need an outside perspective to be able to see what it is that's not working.
Yeah, I like to talk about it from the quantum perspective of the field and local and non-local consciousness. In our quantum space, in our source mind, you often say, gee, Asara, you're a little bit ahead of me. You always mention something that I'm thinking about. And I say, yeah. And so my answer to that is that there is a quantum field that we're connecting in that's nonverbal, that's invisible. And every person in business has this field around them. And every subconscious mind has this field around them. And when we have, like you said, the body knows before the mind knows. So the field knows, then the body knows, then the mind knows. So it's like paying attention to the signs and signals that you're getting that intuitively are saying, I want to just take a look. I want to pause. One of the things I really appreciate about your business structure, Eden, is that you take your own retreat days. There's like quarterly, you take like 4 or 5 days and you just say, I'm not talking to anybody. I'm going internal. I'm looking at what my businesses are doing. I'm looking at where I am in those businesses, and I'm evaluating if this is where I want to be or if I want it to change. And so that's one of the things that I want to cover in this call is that how often are you as a business person or an entrepreneur or even in your daily life just for relationships, how long do you take conscious attention to being silent? Ask yourself, how often do you allow yourself and dedicate that time to inner reflection, to look at that inner reflection, because that's the only way you're going to be able to connect with that field of super intelligence that I just say, it's like people like to talk about angels serving us. Well, the field is like those angels serving us. If we think that the world of the quantum world is there to provide for us and is on our team and has our best interest at heart and wants to give us good things that we are not ready to receive, we have to prepare ourselves to be open to receive that better good. And is this resistance I'm going through with letting go of something that needs to be adjusted or needs to be just simply removed? It doesn't need to be there anymore. Is that the fear of greater success? Have I re-identified my own emotional landscape and my own self-identity to say, I am ready for this next level of wealth. I am ready for this next level of clients. I'm ready for this next level of engagement.
It's so much in there to unpack in what you just said. The first is I want to acknowledge, yes, I'm so glad that I've discovered over time what's going on when you do that, when you psychically just ask me the question that's usually about 2 weeks ahead of where I'm at in my thought process to get to the answer. I love that we're able to for me say, okay, yes, but that's one of those things where you're ahead of me. So you have to give me a minute, right? My evolution into the conversation. I go internal when I connect with just the silence, right? It is about tuning in to what's important to me, right? I work through this often in the marketing space. There's so many ways to be right in marketing. And I used to just hop from one thing to the next, trying to get the answer. And what I finally realized is there's a lot of ways to be right. What's the right way for me? What's the right way that feels like a fit for me, that I can be consistent in, the thing that I can do that's right for me? And I've said this for a long time in my teaching and the work that I do is, and that's why my company is Your Business Lifestyle, that there's no right or wrong way to be in business. There's only the way that you want to be in business. Some people are completely happy in having a small business that's a lifestyle business and it doesn't create any stress and they have a lot of time for family or travel or other things. Other people really want to grow and scale and do bigger things. No right or wrong in that energy. It's just getting clear about what is the right business lifestyle for us. And so that's what I'm doing when I'm in that space is, okay, something's not working. It might be working on paper, might be working profitably on paper, but if it's not working for me and I'm not having a good time, then we need to be doing something different.
That's a good way of looking at it. And it's letting go of that which is no longer serving us and being willing to have an ending and creating the space for a new beginning. And it is guaranteed, 100% guaranteed. If you can trust that process, if you can allow yourself to trust that letting go, creating the vacuum in the space, and allowing the new to emerge, it will take you to that next level every time. And
In the simple things, right? I mean, I love the example that you use sometimes from Catherine Ponder's teaching that, if you want to have new clothes, then go through your closet and give away all the clothes that no longer serve you. Create space for the new to come in, and the resources will come in order to be able to rebuild the wardrobe to meet the new you, right? That it's about being willing to create the space for the new to flow in.
yeah, absolutely. And it's exciting. There's a process that we go through. So we want to support you, the listener, in saying that, look at what works for you in terms of how you can take the time to know what you see getting results that you want to keep and looking at what is not getting results that you want to change, and also looking at if there's something you're getting results with but you're not enjoying the process, how can you change it? So those three ways to look at what it is for you that you want to reorganize for yourself. And then let's just add the quantum principles of non-local reality, non-local consciousness. Local consciousness is what our beta logical mind is thinking about of how we're organizing, reorganizing. Non-local consciousness is our connection to many minds. Non-local consciousness means consciousness is everywhere in the universe, and you are tapping into that non-local consciousness. Now, I'm just going to add right now, we have this dynamic of artificial intelligence that's been thrown into the mix. And that's non-local consciousness in its entirety. It's everywhere, and it can produce miraculous information. Now, make a choice if you're going to, how you're going to use that intelligence and how it augments your intelligence, because there's good things about it, and we know there's not good things about it. That it's not good with numbers, it's not good with diagnosing what you need for your body. It's not, you don't want to trust it for medical advice. Please, if you hear something from that perspective, then go check with your doctor. So here's a new element of operating in the world that just began months ago. And there's some astrology around how this planetary configuration is come in place every time something new started. Gutenberg created the printing press, and then the transmitter, the vacuum tubes were changed into what we use now for all of our computer technology at the last configuration of this planetary. So we're bringing in a little bit of the woo-woo, but if you don't want to pay attention to that, just pay attention to where you are energetically with what it is that you think you need to add, subtract, modify, and reorganize and enjoy.
I really love that. You know me, I love the transformation of the super consciousness and the magical things unfolding, right? So I really love that what happens when my intention is specific and I understand the new reality that I'm ready for and creating. I love to see the magic that happens. This just turned up, right? This unicorn showed up because we believed that it could happen and we went looking for it. Like that, absolutely. And sometimes for me to be able to get there, I also am, you know me, I'm an operations person. The practical is helpful too, right? Doing the pros and cons or doing a little bit more analysis. There's good balance in that. And everybody, I think, has different toolkit to get there, but I always want to hold out. Or we could just leapfrog over these practical things and go into consciousness and change reality. Thank you for that teaching. Sometimes my brain will go there, sometimes it won't. I think that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I love organization. And in my book, Source Mind and Quantum Wealth, that I go through are these 6 different areas of our life and our business that we can look at for a coherent change. Most people talk about just a mindset change, but really, when you're making a completely integrated change, you're looking at what's your environment like? How is your surroundings? How is the surroundings of your operation of your business working or your relationship working? What are you capable of? And what are your values as well as your beliefs? And then what is your identity in that? And then the higher principles of spirituality. And so when you are going through that process, which you'll be able to find in the book when it launches in 2026.
So excited for your new book.
You can see how you can make this quantitative change, mind, body, spirit, practical for your growth of your business, the growth of your success, the growth of your identity, and the growth of your wealth. All right, let's do some commands. You ready?
Okay. I'm ready.
Okay. So close your eyes, relax in your chair. Take that nice deep breath. Exhale, let your shoulders relax. Sink down into your chair or where you're relaxing and feel the energy going down, 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 grounding really beautifully. Going deep, deep down into the earth. You're in your body, you're expanding your energy field, you're clearing, you're communicating, you're connecting. And I'll do a little clearing where you bring light in. As you're grounding, you bring this light in through your top crown chakra, and you bring it down through your body, move it through your body, out through the bottom of your feet, down into the earth. And so you're letting go of the old, and you're bringing light in, that space in between for the new. And then when you resonate, you come back up into your heart center, and you focus with, I don't know how I create the right circumstances for my greater enjoyment and success. I only know I create the right circumstances and make the right choices now, and I am fulfilled. And we bring that light that's in front of us, we breathe it into our heart, pull it up to our forehead, hold it, and then exhale. Light surrounds you. Light before you, light behind you, light above you, light below you, light to the right of you, light to the left of you, and light within you. Enlightening your cells, your strength of your heart, your organs, your mind, your spirit, and let your eyes look up underneath your closed eyelids, moving your consciousness up, up, out through the sky, up, up, out past our solar system, out, out, out into the Milky Way and beyond. And now, with those trillions and brillions of galaxies forming that have amazing solar systems, through all of that space of quantum connection and the fascia of all of our connection in that field, we push into the white luminosity of all that is. I don't know how I have the resources, the intelligence, and the desire to make changes that support the embodiment of my work, of my relationship, of my caretaking for myself. I only know I do so now, and I am fulfilled. I don't know how I organize the internal structure within me to support my external revelation of all that I can accomplish and do easily and effortlessly from the field. I only know I do now, and I am fulfilled. I don't know how we include the phone in the meditation, and in that ringing sound, we even enlighten and elevate our choices, knowing that inner reflection can create great outer results. I only know I take the time for that inner reflection and I apply it to the outer results at all levels of consciousness. I only know I do so now, and I am fulfilled. And just allow yourself to expand into another level of yourself, into that field of all that you are, where you have all of this support from this source mind field intelligence. I don't know how I receive even greater good than I can currently imagine that serves me and serves in the world in a greater way. I only know it's so now, and I am fulfilled. And now bring all of that down into your body, just letting go, let your eyes relax. And as you're re-entering into your body, we're rearranging, we're unwinding the old structures. And in that space, we're rewinding with this new attention and the qualities that you wish to activate in yourself now with that certainty. I only know it's so now, and I am fulfilled.
Oh,
Lovely. Absolutely lovely.
well,
Okay.
what a great conversation, Asara. Thanks so much. Thanks everybody for joining us today. And
Well, I'm still a little high from theta. I'm still on a theta high. So I have to get my words, get my mind organized to speak again. And yes, we'll see you next month. Take
see you
care.
next time.
Thank you for joining us today. And remember, transformation is a journey. You're not alone on this path. Connect with us on social media, because the Positively Transformational community is all about uplifting one another. Share your thoughts, your aha moments, and even suggest topics you'd love to hear more about. Take care, stay blessed, and keep shining bright. Remember, you can always visit us at successbyyourcommand.com for more information.